What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room. And this is where we at now. So we're going out to California here. So, of course, as we all know, but some of us do know, the race for California governor is on now. So apparently, Gavin Newsom time is almost up. Your girl Kamala Harris decided to drop out the race. So I think it's not leaving these people out there in California with a lot of options. So we have a lady here named Katie Porter that seems to be trying to run for, from what it seems, she's like the front runner for the governor's seat in California. And it's a lot of things that are popping up about her. She's carrying herself in certain type of ways in interviews that seem to be very egregious, highly disrespectful to the meteor process that needs to go on to try to get yourself elected out here. So we're going to go here now. We're going to check some things out because California is already dealing with enough. They've done enough to themselves out there. I hope they're not going to elect another bat in office that's going to get them in even more turmoil and strife. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
With 6, gubernatorial candidate Katie Porter is facing criticism from all sides after attempting to walk out of a recent interview. The former Orange County Congresswoman took exception to a reporter's question about appealing to voters who also voted for President Trump. KTVU political reporter Greg Lee breaks it all down and has reaction from some of the other candidates.
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
Leading candidate for California Governor Katie Porter going viral for this exchange with CBS News California reporter Julie Watts, the former congresswoman threatening to walk out of the interview that began with a question over Prop 50 and Republican voters.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, man?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of the vote.
The interview eventually continued, but the damage was done. The crowded field of gubernatorial candidates jumping on the flub in bipartisan fashion.
You can't be afraid to answer basic questions, and that was a question that was posed to all of us.
They can't withstand the most basic questions. They totally crumble. That's why I'm running for governor. We've got to change all this. We've got to get rid of this one-party rule.
Fellow Democrat Betty Yee now calling for Porter to...
So obviously we saw 2 gentlemen right there that were actually running for governor of the state of California, stuff like that. It seems to be that they're not being promoted, but at the same time though too, I don't think they're causing enough drama out here like this broad is here.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
This is crazy. So let's keep going.
Drop out of the race. Javier Becerra said, "I'm not interested in excluding any vote." Republican candidate Sheriff Chad Bianco wrote on X, "Throw a tantrum on TV because you do not like the question. Katie Porter is just another unhinged Democrat who would complete Gavin Newsom's destruction of our beautiful state." The viral moment drawing attention to a race that had fallen under the radar.
Have very little on the policy issues that separate them. So now a candidate's made a mistake, and the candidate that made the mistake is the front runner. And it allows every other candidate to sort of point and say, look, dumpster fire over there.
Democratic consultant Andrew Acosta believes Porter will rebound from this, but Republican consultant Matt Shoup sees it differently.
That is a textbook example of what not to do in an interview. It's amateur hour. I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be substantially less enthusiastic to support her campaign now, and this may be encouraging to other Democrats who have been thinking about getting into the race that haven't yet.
Porter's camp did not respond to our request for comment. The former Congress.
But see, though, my thought process on this situation here is if she's part of the Democratic Party and she's acting like this, and then now what this gentleman just said here, it may make other Democrats that decide to get in the race, and it may make them think twice about how they need to perform and act and stuff like that. That's not going to hide the fact that these people actually want to tear California down. That's not, we have to really think this thing through. California needs to do some real thinking here. That doesn't necessarily, they're all part of the same party with the same agenda. Regardless of how nice they try to present it, or if she come out here like, or if they come out here like she did and just, bold and talking shit and decide to say, fuck y'all. I'm not going to answer these questions. I'm, not like this. I'm you following up with a question out there. Come on, man. When everybody else done this, in this situation here to where they're trying to get elected and she don't want to play ball. And then she, man, listen, look, man, y'all need to try something new out in California, bro. Y'all need to try something new, and they asked this lady about, the constituents that overwhelmingly voted for Trump, because California a huge part of California went red this past election and stuff like that. And what I'm saying, she just was like, why do I need them? What are you talking about? They're your constituents too if you become governor of California. What do you mean, lady? So you don't care about them people that pay your taxes, that pay your money? Man, get the fuck out of here, bitch.
This woman does have experience representing Republicans after she flipped a GOP seat in Orange County in 2018.
Katie Porter is one of the only people running who's actually been in a purple district when she was in Congress. So I would think that she'd have a better chance to articulate that, but she definitely fumbled that in the interview this week.
Shoup said it's a reminder to all the candidates that the governor needs to work with everyone.
No matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat, if you're elected to governor, you represent the entire population of the state.
Right.
You don't represent your party. And you need to be working for the good of the entire state and the entire population.
Greg Lee.
Right. So listen, look, man, because there's more. There's always more. And we're going to check this interview. We're going to check this interview out that this lady was in here. And she practically, almost cussed somebody out. Let's go here now.
To air pollution and other problems, and the state could lose. Get out of my shot.
Katie Porter's campaign for California governor is going viral, but probably not the way she would have hoped. This video shows her lashing out at a former staffer. NBC4's Hetty Chang is live in Irvine with how this may impact the Democratic frontrunner. Hetty.
Yeah, Annabelle, we're really getting a wide range of reaction to those videos. Some say that they were really bothered by what they saw. Others say it wouldn't impact their vote. But one thing is certain, people are talking. Katie Porter, considered the frontrunner in California's gubernatorial race, is going viral this week after this video exchange obtained by Politico Wednesday captures her reprimanding a staffer for getting into her interview shot. The video shows an online conversation from 2021.
Get out of
Where the former congresswoman for California's 47th district threatens to walk out of an interview with the CBS Sacramento investigative reporter.
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it.
A Porter campaign spokesperson noted the interview did continue for another 20 minutes after this exchange.
Rude.
Hector didn't want to give his last name. This is your first impression of her?
Yeah, never heard of her.
And what is your impression of her?
I mean, if that's how she handles her stress and that's how she handles people, how can we expect what we expect from her? I probably wouldn't vote for her, honestly. Just that interaction.
Political experts say first impressions do matter.
None of the candidates for governor right now are particularly well known in California. And in fact, you could argue that this is the most wide open governor's race in California in half a century. But if the first thing that voters learn about you is something that's unflattering in this nature, that's more likely to stick than if it's one of many things that they know about you.
Two other voters who are familiar with Katie Porter echo that very point.
To me, that's just a small snippet of anybody, I think. If I were voting for her, that wouldn't alter it. Oh, I'm not going to vote for her because of those two clips. You know what I mean? Because if I followed her and I like her policies and I like everything and I see those two clips and I still like her policy, I'm still going to vote for her.
I would not necessarily know who I'm voting for tomorrow, but this would not dissuade me at all.
We received this statement from Katie Porter saying it's no secret I hold myself and my staff to a high standard, and that was especially true as a member of Congress. I have sought to be more intentional in showing gratitude to my staff for their important work.
So you hold your staff account to a high standard by cussing them out.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Yeah, okay. And hold on here. And this dude here, and I get the fact that we do need to vote on policy. If we're going to vote for people and stuff like that, we do need to vote and make sure if the policies that align with what you want and stuff like that for your city, your town, your government, your issues and stuff like that within the place that you reside. I get that. But at the same time, though, too, if you see somebody that's quick to lose their temper like this, you know what I'm saying, while she's being recorded on top of that too, and she knows this, and you just blatantly cuss one. What are you doing behind the scenes when the cameras are off? How are you talking to people? How are you treating people? Policies are not just also needing to be the thing that we elect people by. Don't get me wrong, policies it should be up there at the top, but also how these people that want to be elected treat people, treat their staff, treat everybody around them. You don't want somebody talking out the side of their neck to their employees and stuff like that, even though you enjoy the food there. That's ridiculous.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
That's ridiculous. You have to stand for something or else you're going to fall for everything. And, that's my point on that fact. Like, hell no, screw that shit. I don't give a fuck if this bitch got the best policies in the world. If she's an asshole, she's going to run her administration like a fucking asshole. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't going to mean nothing. This is crazy out here. Let's go to Fox and see what they have to say, people.
So Democrat Katie Porter is running for governor in California, facing criticism for an interview that went absolutely sideways. All right, we have two clips here. Here is number one, and this is how it started.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, man?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of the vote. You think you'll get 60%. Everybody who did not vote for Trump will vote for you. That's what you're saying.
In a general election, yes. If it is me versus a Republican, I think that I will win the people who did not vote for Trump.
What if it's you versus another Democrat?
I don't intend that to be the case.
All right, so we've reached out for a campaign. We're waiting to hear back. Haven't heard back yet. I want to bring in Martha MacCallum and talk about this. Essentially, she's saying her answer. I mean, the other 40% of you can just go fly a California kite.
Yeah, she says, I don't want all this on camera. Well, we know that it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. And yeah, and all of the other opponents obviously rushing in to say, I do. I want everyone's vote in California. And you look at the polling in California, it's a pretty wide spread. I mean, she's leading, and she mentioned really the thing that has worked most in her favor is that she does have name recognition. But after that, I mean, this is a very widespread field. And Steve Hilton's also in the mix, Antonia Villaraigosa. So she's got a lot of competition in California, I think, as they get closer to this race. And she does not have a reputation for being personable. Let's just, that's not the nicest way that I can say it.
Yeah, basically, she's an asshole out there. Basically, she's an asshole. And you know what I'm saying? To elect somebody like that, you pretty much getting the same as Gavin Newsom. But it's a chick instead of a dude. Man, I hope California, bro, really wakes up, because you know what I'm saying? Listen, look, man, this is tragic that one of our major states in the union and also one of our major economies in the union has been being ran by these buffoons. And we have to have long memories here. I don't even know if California has truly recovered from all those fires that happened this past year. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to remember this stuff. They just had a tremendous amount of crazy fires out there. It was more than just regular wildfires. You had celebrities' homes burnt down, stuff. Y'all remember all the celebrities that came out was talking about the tragic stuff that was going on out there, things like that. In California having these issues with illegal immigration and all types of crazy stuff. Man, dude, man. And she just going to continue the agenda of pulling in more illegals, giving free health care, stuff like that. you know, saying regardless of what you know, saying people want to talk about, it just is what it is, man. And y'all clear to see how this lady treats her staff. You know, and y'all think that that's going to be, you know, better when she becomes governor. Okay, then that's cool.
Going back to incidents of dumping mashed potatoes on her husband, said she dumped mashed potatoes on his head before they split up. And Dana and I we were all talking before about some of these other incidents.
Yeah, she's considered to be a really bad boss.
You know, so she was married at one point. You know what I'm saying? Man, who is marrying these types of chicks out here? This is crazy.
Politico 2023 reported about how one of her staffers got COVID. She complained that the staffer gave her COVID. There was text messages exchanged, and ultimately the staffer gets fired. But I also think it's interesting that a lot of Democrats complain about the erosion of norms. Okay, and they want to return to norms. And they're talking about free speech. Okay, well, this reporter just basically doing her job. And what Katie Porter tried to do was to end the interview because she didn't like the questions. Watch.
Do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that.
Well, to those voters. Okay, so you.
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
Every other candidate has answered.
I don't
our
care.
follow-ups.
I don't care. I want to have a pleasant, positive conversation in which you ask me about every issue on this list.
Oh, you want to answer the questions the way you want to answer them. You know what I'm saying? You want to negate stuff like you want to negate the questions. You want to rearrange the questions basically the way that you want to rearrange them, like Brandon Johnson do in Chicago. That's what you want to do. We already know. Birds of a feather flock together. I don't know how many times you people got to wake back up to some of these old sayings and stuff like that. But that shit is true. I don't never see pigeons fly with eagles. I don't never see cranes fly with mockingbirds. I mean, not mockingbirds, but fucking, hummingbirds. Listen, look, people. Birds of a feather flock together. And the Democratic Party is flocking together regardless of what side of the United States they're on. They're still for the same agenda, regardless of what state, town, city, whatever they're in. We have to stop thinking stupid out here. This woman got upset for answering the question of how you going to appease the rest of your constituents that voted for Trump this past election. How are you going to compliment the constituents of your whole state that you're supposed to represent? This is ridiculous out here. California need to wake the fuck up, bruh. And y'all out there dealing with a lot of turmoil and strife and things like that. And I don't understand how y'all dealing with that out there.
And if every question you're going to make up a follow-up question, then we're never going to get there. And we're just going to circle around.
I mean, Martha, I watched
up a follow-up question.
Yeah,
that is not allowed.
On the story, this is what you do. Like, I think about the interviews with like Randy Weingarten, and you guys have a spirited exchange, and you have follow-ups that you haven't planned, but you have them because you're a journalist.
Well, absolutely, and also you have a follow-up question, as you all do in the great interviews that you do, based on the answer to the question, and it's all about listening to what the answer is. And if you don't listen to what the answer is, you are not going to have a follow-up question. Mm-hmm. And she kept listening to the answer or the non-answer in this case. And I just love when she goes, well, not if you have 7 follow-ups. We're not doing that. 7 to 6 is my limit.
6, 7.
No more than 6 follow-ups.
I think they were just sitting too close.
This isn't going to serve her well.
No, and I get what this lady just said. This is going to serve her well. Yeah, it's going to serve her well to get her ass kicked out. If Californians are actually changing and being smart, which this past election should have showed them that California can possibly change and people can think outside the box for the betterment of their economy and stuff like that in California. And this lady, this Kate Porter lady has shown her rear end. And the footage is coming out. We're seeing how she treats her staff, things like that. You think this shit is going to change when that lady gets in office? You know what I'm saying? She treats her, she allegedly here for what they're saying. She treated her own husband like shit. But I'm sorry, though. He the one stood there and tolerated it. I mean, hey, let's just be honest. He tolerated that bullshit. I would not.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
Damn sure ain't finna tolerate no crap off no chick that look like she got cholesterol problems. Gotta be fucked up out here. This is crazy, bruh. I hope California get their shit together, man. This is ridiculous here, people. And you know what I'm saying? It's time out for these types of super liberals running shit around here, man. We need some peace for a change. We need some actual economy stability. We need some jobs for Americans only. And we need, you know what I'm saying, basically to get ourselves back on track over here as a fucking country, bro. Because, you know what I'm saying, the rest of the world is trying to dip into our pool. As some of these motherfuckers is allowing it. Other motherfuckers want these people kicked out. We're a country divided. And if we don't watch the fuck out, we're going to be a country conquered. This is crazy to me.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.